Mr. Thomas had an arraignment. He entered into an agreement, and we waived the arraignment. The judge has ordered that it be under seal due to there being certain information that's contained in the bail order. So terms won't be released, but there is no safety to the community at this point. He will remain held at this time.
So why did he place it under seal?
There's information in the bail order that would be privileged, so Mr. Thomas has a right to have that information not released to the public.
So in other words, it has to do with mental health or other issues?
I can't say, just that it's privileged.
What are the charges that he faces?
So he faces 4 counts of reckless conduct. There's also a number of older charges. He had some outstanding warrants for theft, criminal threatening, a couple counts of criminal threatening as misdemeanors, and then the 4 reckless conduct charges as a result of the conduct that happened yesterday.
So the 4 charges are yesterday?
Yes.
What can you tell us about the rifle and that he had other charges? Was that legal to have? What do we know?
So he has, there's nothing, he doesn't
Hang on,
have. Sure.
Folks are going to have to move along to the side, please. Good.
And so Tim, back to him having
The gun,
that rifle, do
the
we
rifle.
know
Yes.
anything about that? Was it legal for him to have that?
Yep, so there was nothing in his criminal history that would prevent him from owning a firearm. He's entitled to have it. Obviously, he had warrants pending for misdemeanors, but there's no charges for felon in possession or any unlawful possession of the firearm. He was in lawful possession of it as far as the state's aware at this time. But obviously the charges involve him using a firearm in a way that had the potential to cause serious bodily injury.
What's the jurisdiction that the warrants were out of?
It's all in Rochester.
All in Rochester.
Yep.
Did he have any prior court appearances?
Not that I'm aware of, no.
So these were misdemeanor charges that were filed against him prior to what happened the other day?
Yes, the warrants that were pending were for misdemeanor charges.
So what appears, can you explain what it is that he did that was against the law in terms of, he was seen behind the place with the gun?
Yes, so from the affidavit that was filed, my understanding is that they identified him as being someone who had a warrant. He could have been taken into custody, which is what they attempted to do. He was at that point in the woods, and then the new charges are he's charged with firing 4 shots at various law enforcement officers, which is charged as reckless conduct. No one was shot or injured as a result, but just simply firing the firearm in the direction of law enforcement is a reckless conduct charge.
And we know that he was living out in that area and that's sort of a known place for people that are homeless to camp. Have there been other issues with that encampment with people back there?
None that I'm aware of. Rochester Police might be able to have more information on that, but nothing that in the county attorney's office I have information about.
Now, I know everything's under seal, but is he being held without bail? What's the proper way to frame this for our readers?
So he is on a preventative detention at this time.
What does that mean?
That means he is held without bail.
Okay. If there were to be issues where they were trying to deem whether he was competent to face these charges, would you be able to tell us that?
I wouldn't. That's something his attorney or quite frankly the state could file, but all of that would be under seal.
Okay. So is the affidavit available or no?
The affidavit is available. It's just the bail order that was sealed. So you would be able to get a copy of the affidavit.
Okay. So he's not considered, he's behind bars, so we can't hurt anyone, obviously, but the charges don't have to do with anything other than the fact that he shot the gun. Not that that's, I'm not minimizing that.
Sure. Yep, those are the charges. Those are the 4 charges that resulted from the conduct yesterday, and he had the other charges that were pending from, actually one went back to March of 2018, so he had some warrants pending.
And they were for like shoplifting?
Some, there was a criminal threatening and also a shoplifting, theft from Walmart.
What message does this send to the community at large, Tim? I mean, it sounds like this could have been easily resolved if he had surrendered to police earlier.
I think certainly if you have a warrant, the message would be to turn yourself into law enforcement. Just a great job by the folks at Rochester Police Department to apprehend him without anybody getting hurt.
Who's representing Mr. Thomas, public defender?
It's Attorney Sarah Landers.
Sarah Landers.
Yep.
Is she a public defender?
I can't comment on that. Yeah.